Hi, my name is Brad. I'm an attorney with Lexington Law Firm. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, otherwise known as the FCRA, was passed in 1970. It's a consumer protection statute. Now, typically when we think of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, we think of credit reports, and those are an important part of it. But it's broader than that. It covers things like if you apply for employment and they want to do a background check and enter your family members, friends, your reputation in the community. Or if you're applying for insurance and the insurance company is trying to figure out if they should write you a policy, right? And they want to do a health check on you. So it can be broader than that. Now before it got passed, like I said, you didn't have access to it. It's like knowing you need to reach the top of a mountain to get your goal, but there's no path up the mountain. And not only is there no path up the mountain, they won't even let you see the mountain. Before it got passed, you had no right to your credit report, and you had no way to challenge inaccurate items. That changed with the FCRA. Now you have a right to it, and you can challenge those inaccurate items, and they have very specific timeframes that they're required to conduct that investigation inside. It's important to know that only certain people can access your credit report. All right, let's go back to the bank. You go into the bank, you apply for a loan. If they deny you, you can have access to your credit report, and typically they're required to provide a report that tells you the top couple reasons, typically like the top 3 as to why you were denied for that particular loan. Let's say they give you the loan and you pay it off. 4 or 5 years later, they just want to see how you're doing. Can they pull your credit? No, they can't. They can't do that if they're not going to extend you credit. That would be an improper purpose, even though they had a proper purpose at one point in time. The other thing that comes up is how long an item can remain on a credit report. The answer is typically about 7 years, but that's a ceiling. It doesn't have to remain on there for 7 years. In fact, reporting is voluntary. There's no company that has to report. There's no credit bureau that has to report. A company can choose not to report, and they can choose to pull an item off your report at any time. The credit bureaus can choose to pull an item off of your report at any time if they don't think it meets their standards of accuracy and fairness. So what you have is an implicit agreement to keep an item on your report. Now you have a right to challenge it and to get that item pulled off if it's unfair or inaccurate. Now the question also comes up occasionally, how long can a positive item stay on my report? The answer is we don't know. The FCRA doesn't state, but the industry standard is 10 years, right? Positive credit should stay on your report longer than negative credit should. At the end of it all, it's just important to remember that credit, getting a good credit report, it's like climbing a mountain. You start at the bottom, you stay on the trail, you put one foot in front of the other, you're diligent, you're patient. If you do the things that you're required to do, eventually you will reach the top and you will reach your goal.